welcome back to Horror Flicks with Nick. Today I'm reviewing Dolly, a 2026 horror film written and directed by Rod Blackhurst. Blackhurst is best known for directing true crime documentaries on subjects like Amanda Knox and John Wayne Gacy, as well as a handful of horror short films, most notably the Night Swim short, but not the feature, and a short titled Baby Girl, which the feature Dolly is based on. Dolly's story follows a woman named Mara, who is abducted by a monstrous figure wearing a porcelain doll mask, intent on raising Mara as her own baby. I want to keep my review relatively simple and straightforward, because Dolly is a relatively simple and straightforward film. Dolly has a very brisk 75-minute runtime. The setup is extremely minimal. Mara and her boyfriend Chase, played by Sean William Scott, head out for a hike in the forest. Mara is kidnapped by Dolly, held hostage in her shack, and within the first 15 minutes, the film is off to the races. The best thing I can say about Dolly is it delivers the goods. It gives audiences exactly what you'd expect, and exactly what you'd want out of this type of movie. Dolly is something that best plays in front of a group of people, with shocking moment after shocking moment after shocking moment after shocking moment, intended to elicit huge gasps and groans from a crowd. Dolly shares similar DNA with the film Barbarian, both with its motherly antagonist, and with all the times I said, I can't believe what the fuck I'm watching. Though, Dolly is very clearly the most influenced by the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Dolly is a burly, mute, mask-wearing villain, much like Leatherface. Dolly has similar familial elements like the Sawyers. Dolly takes place in a house in the middle of nowhere. It's shot on 16mm film in the Chattanooga woods, aiming to replicate the 70s dirty, grainy, and grimy aesthetic. And Dolly's story plays out much in the same way as TCM, as we watch a woman scratching and literally crawling to escape hell on earth. Dolly, the titular villain, I think has a lot of potential as a horror figure. The maternal thing is a great gimmick, the chip doll mask is creepy, her signature weapon is both brutal and unique for slashers, and she had a very intimidating presence whenever she was on screen. Another huge plus in this film is the gore and makeup effects. Every single bit of violence looked very real. There are so many standout gore moments with an ear, a leg, a nipple, a chest, each that made me grimace, but also made me smile wide as a lover of practical gore. Without spoiling anything, the absolute best piece of gore in Dolly features a jaw. I paused this movie multiple times just to get a better look at that particular effect, as I could not believe just how authentic it looked. I was beyond impressed, it looked awesome, and it made for one of the best scenes in the entire film. I will give the caveat, Dolly certainly isn't a movie for everyone. It's very simple, there's practically nothing in terms of character or story, Dolly has no profound ideas, it has nothing to say, there's some bad dialogue, a lot of really chunky exposition delivered in the first 5 in order to get the movie going as quick as possible. Dolly at its core is just a woman getting embarrassed and brutalized for an hour. There's very little light or moments of levity. There's some that will see this as brutality for brutality's sake. This film's harshest critic would call it a gross, purposeless, exploitative exercise with many scenes that feel like someone's thinly veiled fetish. Though for slasher fans, fans of practical gore and horror, or for fans of stuff like Resident Evil 7, Barbarian, Tusk, The Baby, House of a Thousand Corpses, or Texas Chainsaw, I think Dolly is a real treat. If you enjoy a stripped-down, bare-bones horror movie with no fluff, that wears its influences on its sleeve, and just wants to deliver audiences fun, horrifying, wince-inducing gore in a tense sprint for survival against a monstrous behemoth, I think you, much like me, will enjoy Dolly. I give Dolly a 6.5 out of 10. Dolly had its world premiere at Fantastic Fest in September of 2025 and is scheduled to be released theatrically in the United States on March 6th, 2026, before coming to Shudder sometime in spring. I was extremely happy to get an early copy of Dolly. This is a movie that's been on my radar for many months. Once you get a chance to check out Dolly, whether that's in theaters or on Shudder, please let me know what you thought of it down in the comments below. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, Horror Flicks with Nick. Once a week, I post early horror reviews, horror lists, commentaries, deep dives, and 2-minute recommendations for underrated horror movies you can stream on Netflix, Prime, and Shudder. I wanted to wait to the end of the video to address this. For any of my subscribers, you possibly may have noticed that I haven't released a video in many months. I'm sure this break completely tanked my algorithm, so for the 9 or 10 of you that are watching right now, I just wanted to say a quick thank you. Now that I'm back, I plan to keep reviewing new horror movies on a regular basis. I will also be covering a couple of very exciting festivals like Cuff and TIFF in person later this year, so keep your eyes out for that. Genuinely, thank you very much for sticking around. And thanks for watching my review of Dolly. I'll see you in the next review.